We're at the Orange Ale House, and welcome, Needtobreathe. Thank you guys for coming down today.
Thanks for having us.
Where are you coming from?
We played Boston last night.
We did.
Yeah, on our way to New York and
Jersey,
you know, the rest of the country. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the rest of the country, you guys are from. Let me see if I'm gonna get this right. I say it wrong every time on the air. Possum Kingdom, South Carolina.
That's it.
Did I get it right?
You got it.
All right.
Crushed it.
Look at me. So obviously you're coming up to all these big cities. You're up in Boston. You're head of the city. You've been doing this a long time, so it's not like this is new to you. But when were you first like, this isn't nothing like home? You know?
Pretty early on. I mean, I think we didn't know how some of the stuff would translate. We're a little bit redneck without, you know, trying to be a little bit because we're from South Carolina. So the first couple of times we played like out west, Denver, and those kind of places, we were like, maybe this is going to work, maybe it won't. And it always translated. It still, you know, it still comes across. I don't know when the first time it was that it felt like this might work. I don't know. It's been the long gradual climb for us, the long journey to the middle. You know.
Let's talk about that for a second. I'm jumping ahead of my notes, but I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, this new band Needtobreathe. You guys aren't new. You've been around a real long time. It's been over a decade of putting out music.
Yeah, I think we told the crowd last night in Boston that we played. I think we played there 20 times.
Huh.
So, yeah, we've been around. We've seen the world a little bit. But it's still fun. It feels new. It feels like we're in a kind of a different chapter of our band a little bit, having more fun than ever.
We'll talk about being I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. It's just this record was a tough one to make, but we broke through with a lot of things that we love and we're happy and proud of. And,
so,
yeah.
Let's talk about the new record because I've heard a whole bunch of times that, and everyone always says this, like, you almost broke up. You almost broke up. Like, what happened? Like, nobody ever acknowledges what happened.
Yeah, we're still not going to acknowledge it, really. We just like to keep it. No, I mean, we got into some big fights, to be honest. I mean, and it was about more than just me and Bo, who are the brothers in the band. And just had to go home for a while and rethink it because we weren't having fun anymore. I mean, we were in different dressing rooms and the whole, like, brother cliche rock band thing was happening. And when we got back together, I mean, it was simple. We just said we're going to care about each other more than we care about anything else, success or any work we're going to do. And it just made us creative again, made us love what we do again. You know, when you first get into music, you don't know about the business. You don't know about, you know what I mean? Just being able to play in front of somebody is someone is success, you know?
Right.
And I think over time, it kind of just beat us down.
Yeah, you bring that up. I can't even sit at Easter dinner with my brother without us fighting. So I get it. Have to go through that basically since you guys were kids because you've been putting music together since, what, 16 years old?
Yeah.
You've been working, right?
Yeah.
And I know your mom was a piano teacher. Did she push that on you, or is
she
it like
tried? We didn't think it was cool. We were both into sports growing up, so it was kind of like, and there was kids learning piano, and it was all these cheesy songs and stuff. So we weren't into it. We begged her to teach us when we started playing guitar and figuring out we wanted to play music. We went back and we're like, just tell us anything, you know. She was cool about it. She liked the sports thing too.
Let's talk about being Christian rock, and because that's kind of how everyone's labeled you guys. But this is all of a sudden, I mean, we're a hot AC station, and we're playing Brother with Gavin DeGraw. So how does it feel that you're making that crossover? Because I feel like it's a thing, you know, like country is crossing over to pop, and pop's crossing over to country and all that. Did you set that out? Was that your goal, or was it just kind of organically came up?
Yeah, I don't know that we had a goal like that, especially when we started. I mean, we were very careful to not be labeled Christian. It was it was everything we could do. And honestly, we feel like we've made most of the choices we've made in our career have been trying to avoid that stigma, I guess. And not because we don't believe or we don't, you know, that's not important to us, but more because we didn't want to limit the listeners that we were talking to. We didn't want to be like, oh, you have to believe like we do in order to like the music. I just don't think that's true. And so I think it's fun for us to play on as many formats as possible, you know, to as many places, and we're having fun with this. But we definitely don't see it as like a crossover. Maybe we told the band, I was like, we may be the only three guys who don't think we're a Christian band in the world.
One more question. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm having a real crappy week, right? Okay. So about 3 days ago, I crashed into another car, right? And then today, about an hour before I got here, I got pulled over for doing 80 and got a $260 speeding ticket, right? Wow. Yeah, so it's one of those weeks, you know, like where like everything just keeps going wrong. And I heard somewhere you called yourself like the Redneck Rebellion growing up. And I'm just curious about the biggest trouble you've ever gotten with the cops.
Wow. Biggest trouble we've ever gotten. Nothing crazy. I mean, nothing like we've definitely had our run-ins. But the best thing we do now is we have some cop friends, and we like to prank people with that. So if we're meeting them for dinner, we'll get arrested and like rebel and all that, in the parking lot just to scare our friends.
I nearly actually got arrested in Mobile, Alabama at a.
That's true.
It was an outdoor festival.
We were playing with Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, Wiz Khalifa. And it was just like one of those mistaken. They didn't think I had my credentials on, but I did have my credentials, and I took some pictures with some fans that were leaning over the barricade. And then it got a little wild, and they started pulling me over the barricade into them. And so the cops didn't know if I was coming over or going in, and so they headlocked me and drugged me off, and it was like this big. It was an ordeal. So we'll never play Mobile, Alabama.
That's what it's all come down to. Well, thank you so much, Needtobreathe. Thank you for joining us here in Connecticut. We're really excited to have you.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.